Hello, hello, hello. What's up? Facebook, streaming everywhere. Facebook, my personal Facebook page, business Facebook page, tailor made training for you, FIMP for my imperfect non judgmental people. Gwen's Boy Mindset, please subscribe. Gwen's Boy Mindset, my YouTube channel, Twitch, Twitter, all of them that is 50 and over. All of the outlets that is streaming to. This is the No Judgment Zone with yours truly, your host, Sean Taylor. And I got my partner, Brandon Lampley, with me today. And we're discussing topics with no judgment, discussing topics with no judgments. I'm going to try my best just to be with you guys for probably 35, 40 minutes a day, possibly. You know, me and Brandon, we get kind of long winded. I needed to take a break on last week. I had some things going on. Yeah, man, it's been one of those things. But just like I say before we get started, it's a no judgment zone. Discussing topics with no judgments. Period. There's no right or wrong, no rhyme or reason. It's strictly pertaining to being non-judgmental, not tearing people down. That's not what we do. We're just talking about topics straight off the dome. So today's topic, stop living by the narrative of other people. Stop living by the narrative of other people. See, when you live by the narrative of people, you are making your moves based off of what, how people feel and what people think or what people are going to say, or you're doing it for show. Um, that's not a good reason to make your moves or to base your decisions on how you should live your life. In the box, when this thing posted, there's a box that says live your life. Your life is yours to live. It shouldn't be dictated by anyone. You shouldn't be manipulated to do things a certain way or say things a certain way by anyone. You shouldn't worry about how people are going to view you because they're gonna do what they need to do anyway. And here's the thing: negative people project how they feel on others. So those
Yeah,
naysayers that are chirping, those are the negative people. Those are the people who are projecting how they feel on other people. How other people feel about how you live your life or what you say out of your mouth, that shouldn't be projected on you, or why do you even care for that
yeah.
matter? So, Brandon, I'm gonna let you. I just wanted to just get that out there. I'm gonna have my boy Brandon take it from there.
Oh, piggybacking off those naysayers and those people who spew the hate, always remember that majority of the hate comes from below, not from above. It's rarely going to come from someone who's doing better than you in life. Because I'm doing better. So what do I have? What incentive do I have to hate on someone who's not doing as well as me?
Hmm.
So always remember that it's going to come from somebody who's maybe jealous or whatever reason, but it always most usually comes from below. But as far as stop living your life, due to other people's narratives, it sounds like a miserable existence if that's how you're living your life. Number one, your happiness is paramount, and you
Right.
can't be happy unless you're doing things for you. You are accomplishing goals for you. You are prioritizing your peace of mind. You're prioritizing the things that are important to you. That's what matters at the end of the day, because you living for other people, as soon as things go left, they may criticize you. You didn't do this the right way, you didn't do that the right day, you wasn't this to this person, you wasn't that to this person. They, he, she, them, him, her, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, as long as you're living it for yourself. Because once things go bad, they're going to be gone too. You have to remember that. It's just like,
Hmm.
think about all the athletes and entertainers who blew up. They blew up not seemingly overnight, but they got to a point where they become very successful, and that's when people come around and they talk about how all these people pulling them each and every direction. But as soon as they go bankrupt, they go to jail, or I mean, they lose it all. Those people are gone. I know Bernie Kosar used to play for the Cleveland Browns. He talked about how, like bankruptcy. He said bankruptcy was always seen as a negative thing. But he said, once I filed for bankruptcy, he said the calls stopped immediately. The people who were begging and, wanted me to do this and wanted me to live my life this way, they thought I was broke. He said, so the calls stopped immediately. He said it was one of the most freeing things. But that goes to show you that most people didn't understand bankruptcy. But I said all that to say that it shows you that you have to live your life for you. If you don't live it for you, you live it for other people, you're going to be miserable at the end of the day. Just saying.
That's really deep. I made a post on last week, and it was on the November 12th, and I had some things I wanted to get off my mind. And my mother always said, if a man or woman who's so quote unquote talking about you can't sit look at you in the face and have a real transparent conversation about whatever issues they have, how they feel is 100% irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because if you can't be man enough or woman to address your issues, but you're going to depict something and not know. My mom, I remember we having a discussion with her, and she pulled a coin out. She pulled a quarter out. And she said, is this thing one-sided or is this thing two-sided? It's two-sided. There's a heads and there's a tail. Pull the $5 bill out. There's a back and there's a front. If you got a problem with any man or any woman, or if you are, how can I say it, jumping on the bandwagon without actually dealing with the other individual, that's a level of immaturity on your part. That's a level of being extremely judgmental. And I posted something this morning. It's not our job to fix people, change people, or judge people. It's our job to love people, and the rest is in the big man upstairs' hands. And people got to understand that I said it once, I said it twice, I probably said it a billion times. Ironically, individual people are their own freaking problem in their own individual lives. It's how you make your move. Because for me, if you was on anything that is real and you got an issue, you would address that issue. Look me in the face as a real man or as a real woman and say something about it. If you're not coming to me and addressing the issue, your opinion don't even freaking matter to me. But if you still talking sideways out your neck about the next individual, to me, that is the epitome of weakness. It's the epitome of cowardness. It's the epitome of just hiding. But you got billions of people who do that. They live that life every day. You got them just average people in the church supposed to be, together. They got this whole thing, life figured out. They walking on water, turning water to wine, and died on the cross next to Jesus type attitudes. Man, let me tell you something. If you got any of those type of individuals in anywhere surrounding you, ignore them fools. Because if they was a real man, a real woman, and I would tell anybody, I would look at you in the face and not bat an eye, you are fugazi, which means fake. Mm-hmm. And you are doing things for show. I'm not a type of person that's going to showboat and do things just because it's popular amongst the masses. For me, forget the masses. Those aren't the people I really want to deal with. I probably don't even deal with on a regular basis anyway. So you can keep talking about me. You can keep talking about Brandon. You can keep talking about Johnny and Barbara and all the other people, because your thought process and your opinions are falling on deaf ears anyway. Mm-hmm. And just like Brandon said, and my mama has reminded me that, Brandon, I'm glad you brought that up. People who are doing less than you always will be the ones that's talking. It's always the bottom feeders that's talking. It's always the people who ain't doing nothing with their lives always talking. It's always the people who ain't got no fruit to show for their labor always talking. It's those people who was the same, who are in the same boat they was 5, 10, 15 years ago that's always talking. It's the same people who've never elevated. They ain't doing nothing different. They haven't propelled themselves to climb to the upper echelons as far as leveling themselves up and leveling, it's when it comes to professional business, whatever the case may be. They in the same stagnant, complacent state that you originally left them in. And that's all to them, because they don't have the ambition, the drive, the hustle, the grind to do what needs to be done. And you can't let those people get you off your route. Because people who are doing something with their lives, they don't have time to entertain. So for me, my post, I'm calling you out. I'm calling anybody out. And if you got offended by it, well, you know what? You can come see me and we can discuss it, so you can get that little nonsense, that negative nonsense off your chest. But you can't live your life by the narrative of other people. When you are living your life based off the narrative of other people, listen, man, if people for you, they're going to be there for you regardless. If people are supporting you, they're going to support you regardless. Whatever you're doing, a lot of times you will have to do those things alone. You know what I'm saying? To me, I'm like Ice Cube. You know what he said in No Vaseline. I'm a real man. Ain't nobody helping me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That part that he said in that, I'm a man. Ain't nobody helping me, baby. Ain't nobody helping me do nothing. So I ain't got my hand out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if my focus on something that's bigger than me, I don't have time to entertain your nonsense. You can, do you. But just like, Brandon, just like you said, man, and you just killed it. People are doing less to you. Them the only people that's talking.
Yeah. And then don't confuse this, like Deshaun just said. Don't confuse this with the people in your life who have skin in the game. There are people who can come to you and they can voice their displeasure or a dissenting opinion of whatever it is you've done or what you should have done. Right. But those people, when those people come to you, it's not going to come from a place of hate. It's not going to come from a place of anger. It's going to might come from a place of concern. Come from a place of love. And those people, those are fine. And when you come across those people, it's never going to be anything like grand as far as argument, you getting angry. I might not like what they say, but we'll just agree to disagree and then we'll move on. But those people are still going to rock with me at the end of the day, Right. And also, when you live your life according to other people, always know it's never going to be enough, no matter what you do. It's never going to be enough. It's always going to be something more that you should have done, something that you didn't do that they wanted you to do. Their opinion at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter. I hate that and I see men do it all the time. You give people a voice that have done nothing to help you build what you built. I've never understood that. I've never understood that. Or you let people come get shine off of something that you created. Men do this with women. A man can build himself up to the best version of himself. Then he'll go get a woman who hasn't contributed anything to it and elevate her to the highest place she's ever been, who's most likely could be not most likely, but I would say she could be undeserving of it. Because there are some women who are deserving, but a lot of times the men bring women in who are undeserving. And now she's gained notoriety off of whatever it is that you've created. And I see it all the time in entertainment, man, especially like athletes, entertainers, rappers, whatever, with their girlfriends and baby mamas. They're famous. They're famous because of who they slept with. Like, that's insane to me.
Right. Famous for nothing. Famous for nothing. Right.
No talent, famous for nothing,
Right.
And men do that. Men allow the leeches to come in. Women, and don't get me wrong too, women do it too, because you got the women who are educated, professional, and they still get ratchet outcomes because they want to deal with guys who they're not builders. They're just consumers. And men are builders at the end of the day. That's why as your life progresses and goes along, the things that you want in life, the things that you want to build, all the things that are most important, it should always be your focus. Anybody who comes and tries to take that focus off of what you want to do, what you want to build, how you live your life, they got to go. They got to go. And I mean, they need to be going to out, get them out, OUT, get them out of your life, because they're just going to come in and consume. And when things are done, when the stuff is gone, they will be gone.
That is very, very true. And I would pick it back off of what Brandon was saying. I mean, everything the brother is saying. And Brandon, you said something. I'm picking back off the focus part. And fellas, this is for you. I want you guys to understand this. This is a conversation me and my therapist had this morning. She was asking me questions about, just another death I'm dealing with, and just constant, how are you remaining your focus? And we started talking about podcasts and things of that nature. She's like, I said, I didn't do nothing last week. I said, I just was in a different headspace. And I said, but my mom's voice came on today. She's like, I didn't raise you to start things that you never finish. So if you say you was going to do something, you follow it through. And just remember some of the things she said about losses, and how you lose things, and money or tangible things. You can't let your losses get the best of you.
Yeah.
And you got to stay focused no matter what. And sometimes when we're dealing with emotions, feelings, those feelings can take over and manipulate us to get sidetracked off of the task that we got at hand. See, the problem with, and brothers, I want you to understand that. Brothers, I'm talking about black brothers, white brothers, Latino brothers, all my brothers, I want you to get this. And ladies, you can get something from this too, because it's emotion based. You see, a man can't think straight when he's angry or jealous. Period. He can't think straight when he's angry, frustrated, agitated, irritated, discombobulated, jealous or envious, or whatever the case may be, because what it does, it blinds him for seeing the bigger picture of things. See, those emotions, them feelings, will keep you from a lot. It'll keep you from accomplishing a lot. And so I say compartmentalize a lot, because when I can smell, sniff, automatically see bullshit, I'm going to know how to deal with that type of stuff. So my goal is I'm going to try to remain as calm and as focused and stay 3 steps ahead of the bullshit. You got to stay 3 steps ahead. Even in the most uncomfortable circumstances, don't you let nothing, nobody steal your cool. You have to be super cool, because if you get involved in those feelings that these people are trying to bait you on, because they would try to bait you. Speak your piece, keep it moving, don't look back. You say what you say, you mean what you said, because let me tell you something. Gwen used to tell me a lot of times, Sean, when you come direct, it's not what you say. It's the words of sternness and how you say it that make people will, like. My brother read my post, and he said, "Boy, that thing was something." I mean, you feel it, because I'm not going to write something, or because whatever I say, I'm going to back it up to the letter against whoever. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. But one thing I'm too old to play games with you. So if I tell you this is what it's going to be, and this is how it's going to happen, that's exactly how it is. And I'm not deviating from that. So fellas, don't allow your emotions, period, to keep you from not thinking straight, because it's going to take your focus and blind you to the bigger picture of what you as a man have to accomplish. Same thing goes for women.
Yeah.
Because you got some women who, some women, not a lot. You got some women out there who is just as ambitious as men, who's just as driven as men, who just as you got the female hustlers. They own they hustle and they own they grind, but they not gonna let nothing take them off track of the direction they need to go. And see, when you are focused, the narrative of other people is non-existence in your mind, your presence, your heart, your soul. You don't have time to worry about what people think.
Yeah.
Really, you don't. Because when you've been there and done that, and you didn't fell into it, and you didn't got into it, and you start making moves based off of how people feel, or I don't want to upset nobody, I don't want nobody feelings or whatever. No, 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 man. I'm gonna say what I got to say. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be transparent. But what I'm not gonna do, I'm not doing nothing for show. I'm not doing nothing to show off. A lot of things in life for me is just for show. I see a lot of things that people just do just for show. And I'm not about that show life. I'm just not about that. I ain't trying to keep up with the Joneses. I ain't trying to keep up with the Smiths. I ain't trying to keep up with the Browns. I ain't trying to keep up with nobody. I'm trying to keep up with me. My only competition, my only competition is myself. Because it's me, it's Sean versus Sean. And when you are focused with competing with yourself for a better you, you don't have time to be worrying about what they can say what they say, address it, and keep it moving. See, I'm going to say what I got to say to you, but I'm not going to sit there and go back and forth with you. I'm going to say what I got to say. You heard me the first time. I'm not going to retort, and I'm going to keep it moving. And if you got a problem with what I got to say, if you got a bigger problem with what anything I got to say, then come find me and let's sit down and we chop it up. It may be a bad chop up, it may be a good chop up, but we chop it up nonetheless. Because I can respect any man or any woman address me and look me in the face as a real woman and a real man and tell me about their issues. But what I don't like, what I can't get down with, is the cowards that's talking behind the back. And when you get in their face, they spineless. They ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem. But when you're not worried about the narrative of other people, your focus is, no matter what you say, you hear it and you know they said it. You're going to address it to let them know, hey, listen, I ain't the one you want to do those things. This ain't what you want. Say what you got to say and keep it moving. That's just simply it. But a lot of people, Brandon, and you can attest to this. A lot of people, Brandon, they do everything in their life to the time they wake up to the time they go to bed and trying to please other people just because they want to fit in.
Man,
they worrying about what they're going to say.
And that's exactly what I was about to go into. That's funny.
Go. Hey, take it, brother. Take that baton and run with it, bro.
I was going to say, people may ask, because no matter your age, it's some people who they were kind of programmed to be one way. And that's all they know. So people may ask, well, how do I change that? How do I stop living and stop caring about, what people think and living for other people's narrative? Mindset. Change your mindset. Your mindset has changed when you used to walk into a room wondering if people will like you versus you walk in the room now and you wondering if you like anybody in that room. That's where I'm at now. Before, being a people pleaser, because you have those people, they just like to please people. That's what they do. Now I'm to the point where, no, what can you do for me? What does that have to do with Brandon? What can you do for Brandon now? Not what can Brandon do for you?
Right.
And it's so funny when people who have that mindset, especially a piece of which I'm not going to down you. If you want to please people, you please people, what you do, but you can't let people run you and roll over you. That's my only issue with people pleasers, is that you allow people to run you, roll over you, disrespect you, say whatever. And I get pissed off then. That's when I have an issue then, because I can see, like you said, you can smell the BS from a mile away. I can see, especially if you're a bully, and you're a bully with somebody who's not, this person's not fighting back, and it's an unfair fight. And that's when I have the biggest issue. I've gotten into it with people who've been bullying other people simply because I'm like, yo, don't do that around me. That's not something I want to see. You want to talk to them how you want to talk to them, do it out of my presence. Or we gonna have an issue here. I've had that, and I don't back down from those situations. No way. I've had it at work where a superior was talking to an employee, and I got on the superior. I'm like, yo, what's your problem? What is your issue? Like I did. That's what I've done. Like, what is your issue? Like, right now, if we take this to HR, you up out of here. So you have no leg to stand on. But I would say, as far as that, the whole living your life, for other people, just stop. Just stop. It's not hard. Just stop. Just stop caring. Like Cat Williams always talk about it. He said there's a certain chemical in weed called effort. If you could just get a little bit of that in your system, he said things will be different. You were out here crying, talking about you can't keep on the lights and your kids acting up and the boss acting crazy at the job. Just hit the blunt one time and see, doesn't it change your whole perspective? Now, if you don't smoke. But what I'm saying is you have to get that effort in your system. Like, how is this benefiting me? What is this doing for me? Is this going to help me become a better person? Is this going to help me become the best version of myself? Is this going to help my children? Is this going to help my business? Is this going to help my professional career? Is this going to help my portfolio? If the answer is no, F it.
Right. And knowing, see, it for me, it just, and sometimes it takes a while for each individual to realize you ain't for everybody and you ain't trying to be.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I ain't everybody cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or whatever people be saying, regardless of what. But what I'm not going to do is worried about people's opinions so much that I lose my character and my self-love. And when you lose your character and self-love for yourself, you've lost everything. I'm not worrying about trying to be an attention whore, because attention whores, all they do is, attention whores just strive off attention, because that's the only currency. Is attention, thriving off attention. I don't care if here's the thing. I give everybody free will like the big man upstairs give everybody. My mom say, Sean, you got to give everybody free will. Let them do whatever they want to do. But once they show you their hand and show you, well, you're not as important as I may have thought I was, I need to see that, because now I know how to handle the situation. I'm not going to get in my feelings about it. I'm just going to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that people can't see your worth in you, your value that's inside of you. Don't ever make it a reason for you not to see it in yourself. And see, that's why I say the narrative of other people, you got to stop living by the narrative of other people. You got to stop putting your value and your worth based off of the opinions of other people. So you mean to tell me, so your value and your worth is based off of public perception and public opinion? Why are you even concerned about that narrative? You have to, man, you
Yeah.
Let them be wrong about you, man. There's nothing to prove when you don't care what people think. Please let them be wrong about you. You can depict me and say whatever it is you want to, because I ain't gonna beg nobody to be there for me. I mean, never. Because if they want to be, if they gonna be there, they'll be there, and if not, fuck them. I mean, that's just my theory.
Yeah.
I'm not begging you. If I ask you for something or I ask you to be there and you just ignore it, well, you ain't got to worry about me no more. Sean ain't gonna ask you that. He's not gonna ask you that again.
Yeah.
Because when you, golly, man, when you know your value and your worth, you can stand on it. And and that's why I keep telling people, I said, man, listen, I ain't got the time. When I get to the point, I'm to the point with adults that I don't have the time or the crayons to explain to you the simplicities of life. You're either gonna jump on board and get that, or, you know, you're just gonna be walking around like a crash dummy. There's billions of crash dummies out here. You can't tell them nothing. You can't give them advice of wisdom so they can heed to it. They're just constantly running up into walls all the
Yeah.
time. But that narrative, bro, I ain't worrying about the narrative, B. I ain't
Yeah.
worrying about it at all, man. Mm-mm,
Yeah.
not at all. Yeah.
And I'll go back to something you said earlier with being emotional. I'm a big believer that men operating out of emotion, you're at one of your weakest points when you operate out of emotion. Now, does that mean as a man that you can't be emotional? Absolutely not. No. We all, hey, men cry, you get angry, you get sad, you depressed, anxiety, you have all, we go through, we run the gamut of emotions just like women do. But you can't
Right.
operate out of emotion like women do. Women operate
Mm-mm.
out of emotion and they do it, they can operate out of emotion because that's something that they do. That's how they work. That's normally something they do. So they can operate out of emotion. But men, I don't suggest men operate out of emotion because you're seeing it now where it kind of it's manifested itself in the black community, for example. Young boys have watched their mothers growing up for so long operate out of emotion. So now you got these older guys, these Pookies and Ray Rays, the Walmart Tavius, Jamar Quaves, and Little Homicides operating out of emotion. The difference is between the two is that women operate out of emotion. They go outside the lines. They'll get a corrected slap on the wrist. But you, as a man, when you operate out of emotion and you go outside of the lines, you don't get a slap on the wrist most times. Society wants to make sure that you never do whatever it is you do again. So you operating out of emotion is not beneficial to you as a man. You have to think about things logically. You have to come
Mm.
from a logical place, you know. Now, that's not don't get it twisted. Like I said, you can have those moments where you are emotional, you know, but when it come time to make decisions, you need to do it from a logical place because when you make an emotional decision, those are times when you're going to make usually your worst decisions.
Exactly, B. Exactly. Man, I don't know, I think it was Josh, I don't know who it was, Roland. Um, he said, hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times.
Yeah,
We
I've heard
right
that.
now in 2021 are around soft men in hard times.
Yep.
People literally think that you should be weak and you should be docile. No,
Mm-hmm.
in retrospect, you should be a monster when it comes to being a man in a positive way and learn how to control that monster. But
Yep.
it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Fellas,
Yes.
you got to understand that. Let me repeat that. Let me retort that. It's better to be a warrior, fellas. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Can you imagine? Peep this game. Can you imagine a gardener in a war?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this doesn't mean that you got to be nasty, you can't be kind if you're strong. It does not mean you can't be strong. What it means, but it does mean you can't be strong if you're weak.
Yeah.
Fellas, how can you be strong if you're weak? Life is about proper balance, man. So find your balance. I made a post about that. I made a whole post about that. And you got to understand, fellas, you want to be the warrior in the garden, not the gardener in the war. Fellas, that's for us. There's nothing wrong with being strong. You can be kind, okay? Don't get that misconstrued. Brandon keeps telling you, keep letting y'all know. Don't get it misconstrued. We
No.
going someplace with this. That doesn't mean you can't be kind. You can't be kind if you're strong, but it does mean you can't be strong if you're weak. You got to. And Brandon, Brandon, we talked about a segment about knowing your solidified position in this world as a man. We talked about that.
Yeah.
We talked about it. So for me, I can be agreeance this, agreeance that, agreeing. Yeah. But Brandon, we also agreed that we have allowed so many things to get out of hand. Now, I'm going to stand on right. When I'm wrong, I'm a man up and own it. My mom always told me, don't ever justify wrong. Just own. My mom always say, Sean, own your BS. Just own it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, see, when a man knows his position in this world as a man, he ain't gonna let you step on it.
He's a threat.
If you step on his toes, that real man gonna say, ouch, look, you stepped on my feet.
Yeah.
Watch where you going. So when a man know his solidified position and he knows his place in this world, he gonna challenge your ass. He gonna challenge you on what you did. Now, a spineless, passive man, because you got spineless, passive men that are married, just let their wife just say anything. Because guess what? She didn't talk sideways out her mouth all her life. And that's why she with that spineless man. And she just talked to her in the she talked to him in any kind of way or whatever. She walking around with the penis, not him. She's screwing him in the bed.
Yep.
She's screwing him. He ain't screwing her. She's screwing him.
Yep.
Don't get it twisted. You know, there's a difference between having a man who knows his position in this place and he's going to show you respect, but then he's not going to now when you start going too far with your disrespect and not seeing the wrongs to what you're doing, he's going to be like, I know you don't think I'm okay with that. We need to address this issue and we need to fix it.
Yep.
I'm not going to go with any and everything. I don't care if it's family. I don't care if it's my best friends. I'm not going to side with you with everything. If it doesn't agree with my gut on the inside and it's bothering me as a man, when it comes to my manhood, oh no, dude, I got to stand on that and I have to address that issue.
Yeah.
For you not to address it, I'm looking at you like, I'm like, man, I didn't even know that you went and got rid of your penis. Where'd your penis at, bro? I mean, she done took that from you too? I mean, what's going on? And again, that's with family. What I'm like, dude, listen, man, I'm not, Brandon, I swear, if I gotta kiss your ass for you to be happy, that ass gonna be chafed and dry and it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen. If I got to kiss your ass for me and you to get along, baby, bruh, whoever you are, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
It's just not happening. So that's all I got to say about that part.
Well, yeah. You know? So yeah, we at 38. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Give those final thoughts. Right. Final thought for me: be prepared for the hate. If you're a person who's been currently living your life by other people's narrative and you watch this and you said, okay, I'm not going to do that no more and I'm going to prioritize myself, be prepared for the hate because they're not going to like it. Those who have been gaining from you being that type of person, they are going to have a problem with it. They're going to discourage you. They're going to call you names. They're going to say all type of things about you. They're going to talk to other people about you. I can't believe he did XYZ and he blah, 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 blah. Don't listen to it. Continue on. And that's when you know that Sean, that's when you know that you're getting somewhere is when they start talking that noise. When they quiet, you know, you ain't really rocking the boat. But when they start bumping them gums and talking that noise, that's when you know you're on the right path, when you are living your life for yourself and not living for others. That's all I got.
Man, that was a good find.
Oh, crap. He came all the way off. Well, I'll have to wait for him to come back. Well, until he gets back, this is the Brandon Show, and we're going to talk about what Brandon wants to talk about. So we'll wait for Mr. Sean. But I'll just expound a little bit until he gets back. Just be prepared for the hate. Oh, there he goes. All right, he's back.
Yeah. My son was calling me, man.
I was
He's
trash while he was
calling me. Yeah, he was calling me, knock me out. So my final thought. Thanks for handling it, B. My final thoughts is this, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. You can think what you think and feel how you feel, but the faker you are, the bigger your circle gonna be. The more honest you are, the smaller your circle will be. But this is my advice for you: do not conform or transform your mindset to society's way of thinking. If you do that, you're gonna be that gardener in a war. That's gonna be you, fellas. You're gonna be that gardener in the world, because you know why? You don't have your own thought process. And I don't mean to get off topic, but the big man upstairs, I said it once, I said it twice. He made you first for a reason. You got to step up and own that. And if you don't understand that breakdown of why the big man upstairs made you first for a reason and took the rib of you and made that woman, that's where it starts. And that's where it ends. Now some people may argue the point or whatever. Man, I don't want to hear that noise. Know your place. You can be respectful. You can use tact and be stern, but solidified in your position as a man. That's all. That's my final thought. All right, B. Well, we're gonna do this again. Wednesday, I'm gonna be on Brandon's podcast. Yeah. So I'm gonna
prepared.
I'm interested to see what topic Brandon got. I think it's gonna be something good, because the boy, I think he got some stuff up his sleeve. So it's gonna be pretty good. So I'm looking forward to see what topic is gonna be. And Brandon, don't give it to me, man. Don't give it to me too quick. But when I see it, I gotta let it marinate in my mind real good, because I know it's gonna be a good one.
24 hours. So we're gonna go Wednesday 7:30. I'm gonna put out the little preview Tuesday night 7:30. We'll see.
Right. So Brandon, tell the people, man, how they can reach, how they can find you or follow you, man, when it comes to social media.
So Brandon Lampley on just about any platform you can think of. That's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. Put in Brandon Lampley, you'll see a picture of me, see my profile. And follow me on all my social media. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Hey, make sure you hit the like button. Likes are free. Make sure y'all like this video. The likes are free. It helps the algorithm, and it gets us into the stream so more people can see it. More people that like it, they say, "Oh, this is something that people like." So hey, it's free. We're not asking you for PayPal and Cash App donations. Just hit the like button. That's all.
Right. And listen. My YouTube channel is Gwen's Boys Mindset. It's after my mom. Like this podcast is energized. It's in remembrance of her. FIMP group for imperfect, non-judgmental people. Hey man, tailor-made training for you. 21. Hey, follow me, follow us. Just like Brandon said, hit the like button, man. Let's get them algorithms going. We will see you next time. Brandon, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Always, man.
All right. We will see you guys on Wednesday. Y'all stay up and keep it positive, good people. Peace.